look great. Okay. So I'm going to talk about the Chicago Mothman. This is my talk, myth, legend, monster, myth, or mystery. I got to report about the Chicago Mothman for WBEZ's show Curious City, and we are going to try to figure out what people are seeing in Chicago. So the Chicago Mothman started in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, not in Chicago. It is a famous, well-abbed creature that would spook people, and then horrible things would happen. But flash forward, now we are in Chicago, and Mothman has moved up because of climate change, maybe. And it's been seen over 100 times. This map is from a website called Phantoms and Monsters, and Mothman has been charted 100 times in the Chicagoland region. And so he's become a sensation. Our own Sarah Beacon drew these pictures. Mothman enjoying Field Museum and Millennium Park in Chicago, having a good time. But the thing is, I did this reporting, and I have read all of the accounts of the sightings, and I don't know what people are seeing still. And so the goal of this talk is to figure it out. I want to find out what exactly it is that people have been seeing that they're calling Mothman. If you want, you can do that, but we'll get back to that later. So, first of all, the description of Mothman, some people said it had red eyes. Red eyes, was looking at me with these glowing red eyes. It's about 6 to 7 feet tall. It's black, no neck, large membraney wings. This is a direct quote from an account. Heard this loud screech. It sounded completely out of this world, and after a couple of seconds, we heard another one, only louder and higher pitched than the first one. We looked around thinking we had heard an animal in distress. That's when we saw this large bat fly into our view. So there's a lot of explanations why people see ghosts. One is that, this is a real illustration, that we have this lizard brain where we're like, you should react to things that look kind of like ghosts because maybe someone is actually trying to kill you. So it's a defense mechanism to maybe see ghosts. Also, hallucinations are a lot more common than people talk about. And once people start saying that they've seen Mothman, then everyone else is like, oh yeah, I saw him too. So it sort of primes the pump. Now, this was a picture taken by our own Erin Drain of ORD. She saw Mothman and took that picture, and so that is proof. So it's really fucked up. So there are a lot of explanations for what people might be seeing here. It could be a bird, obviously. Sandhill crane has the red cap on top of its head. The barred owl has red eye shine at night when you shine into its eyes with light. It also has no neck. It could also be another famous Chicago cryptid. And also, these people have been doing this horrible prank where they put a fucking costume on a drone and fly it around places, which is horrible. Drones were a mistake. So, if you want, you could go on to menti.com and type in that code, and you can vote, and your decision will tell me exactly what it is that people have been seeing, and then you can see the results on your phone. But here's the thing. All of these accounts have been on this website, Phantoms and Monsters, all 100. And this is what it actually looks like in the year 2020, which is great. And I started to read all of them, and they started to fit this pattern. All of the accounts had this structure. They would have this exposition at the beginning where they would say what they're doing. It was totally boring. And then they would see the creature, and they'd be totally freaked out. And they'd explain why they couldn't use their cell phone to take a goddamn picture. And then the end is like, oh yeah, and don't talk to me. I want to be anonymous. I'm not crazy. So every single account was like that. So I started to think, is this Phantoms and Monsters just orchestrating this phenomenon to get, I don't know, website clicks on their shitty old website? But before I could keep researching, it really started to get to me. I started to lose sleep. I couldn't eat. And one day I was in my basement, and there was a door there. Wasn't there before. And I opened the door, and in a bed was a possum that was dying, and it had bat wings taped to its back, and it looked up at me, and it said, listen, there are some things in this world that are mysterious for their own reasons, and you don't have to keep digging to undo all of the mystery in this world. The real terrors of the world are terrible enough. Let's have some harmless terrors for once without having to research things away. So my dog killed the possum, and I don't know who Mothman is. So thank you very much.